Hey guys, Sunday the 18th, January 2015, I got my laminate floor in today. So I spent a little more than half the day working on it and it came out nice. I'm happy with it. The total thickness that I was talking about of the polyiso foam, the underlayment, and the laminate itself came out to be 1 inch and 1/8 of an inch. So I'm happy with that. It came out nice. I was checking some of the details or specifications on that polyiso, that 1/2 inch, and if I remember correctly, I think that's R3.2. I probably get 1 out of the underlayment and maybe 1 out of the laminate. So I'm about 4.5 maybe R on the flooring, which is fine. I'm going to be putting 1 inch polyiso foam on the ceiling, and that gives me, I think it was 6, R factor of 6, and then over the top of that, if I have the thickness, the room, I may end up putting reflectix. However, I don't think I really need it. That stuff should be spaced between itself and the surface. I don't think I'm going to have room to do that, but I'll look at it and see when I get around to it. By the way, that's going to be the next project, starting on the roof and getting that insulated and all taped up and ready to put the sheeting or the whatever you call that, the paneling up there. I want to show you what I did here at the side door, if you can see it with the sun. The full step, I cut it in half and I built this section out. So of course I have a big gap between the laminate floor and the step itself, but I'm going to probably end up putting some sort of support in here, maybe out of 2x4 or something, to build the support in there, because my plan is when this door is shut, half of the door is shut, I got just a very slight gap right here, which is fine. I just don't want the door rubbing on the floor. And I plan on using between that wheel well and this door, I'd like to use that entire floor space so that I can have more room. I don't know if I'll build a cabinet there or put a sink like most people do, or a sink, shower, or thing. I'm not sure, but I want to have that capability. And worst comes to worst, if I feel like I don't want that, I can always cut that out, get the full step back. But anyway, it's pretty solid even without a support underneath it. However, I mean, it's got some flex in the flooring. But if I build a support across the bottom of that and one across the front maybe, or just the sides, probably all I need. A support down this side, then I'll be able to put all kinds of weight up here with a cabinet or whatever I end up coming up with. Here I've got some blue duct tape just to cover this edge and protect everything until I get a strip of finish. I don't know what you call it. I'm probably going to get aluminum angle, 90-degree angle aluminum, and run it clear from the edge over here, and it'll come up over the top and protect that edge and make it look good, kind of finish it off. And then I'll be doing the same thing across the front, and I'll probably do exactly the same thing across the back, so it cleans it all up. If you look over here, all the way around the edges, I've got this shelf right here. It's about 1 inch wide, and then there's about 2 inches between that and the laminate. So what I'm going to do, since the laminate only comes about 3/8 of an inch from the wall, so that there's room for expansion in the floor. Matter of fact, 3/8 of an inch around every obstacle that there was. I'm going to probably take that 1 inch polyiso and cut a 2 inch strip and run it underneath there. Just push it up in there so that it wedges itself between that little shelf and the laminate and pushes the laminate down flat and helps kind of hold the edge, as well as that would also insulate that section right there. And then above it, I'll be doing probably 1/2 inch polyiso or something, maybe even 1 inch. I'm not sure. The walls are going to be a mystery. Until I come up with a plan, I'll have to do some fiddling around and trial and error to see what I can come up with. I figured I'd probably come up with from the floor up 1/2 inch or 1 inch polyiso, and then up underneath the window frames I'm going to have about a 1 or 2 inch window sill made out of wood so that I can tack the sheeting up against that and then have that foam in behind it. So that'll be kind of cool. I'll end up with a little window sill, and then I'll come up with another way to cover the windows for nighttime use. And insulation, that'll be somewhat removable. Might just end up with some kind of blackout curtain or something. However, those are limo tinted, so they're difficult, if not impossible, to see through once I get a bulkhead in here or a curtain across the back and there's no light inside. So anyway, that's the way it came out, and it really worked out pretty good. That stuff is not too hard to install. It takes a lot of thinking and a lot of cutting, in and out, measure cut on all these obstacles around the wheel wells and around this gas filler neck area. Now let's go around the back and I'll show you just a view from this point of the back. Again, I got a piece of duct tape across the back to protect it. But the sides and the corners and all that came out pretty nice. I'm pleased with it. Got my jack stowed back in there. A few cutout areas just for the jack mounts and stuff. And that'll end up getting boxed in and covered up. Probably end up storing a lot more than just the jack in there, but kind of gives you the log cabin feel. I like that look. I like the color of the floor, and it goes okay with the gray. Anyway, YouTube, I'll throw up a string of pictures and let you guys have a look at that. Thanks for watching, and everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.